Well, it's now time to air your tribute for those of you at home. What do you think?
Our deepest condolence to the family of Komla Dumor. As the nation mourns this seasoned journalist, we would want you to share your fondest memories with us right here on What Do You Think?
I love his voice, and I can't forget the voice of Komla Dumor. I'm sorry that he's no more.
I quite remember sometimes we were all at Auntie Lizzie at Osu Oxford Street, and he was walking into Papai. So I have this perception about him that this guy is too known and that kind of thing. And I decided to call him. Oh, hello, Komla Dumor. And he just stopped and he said, how can I help you? And I was just standing. Oh, this man, what I'm hearing is not it. I just left. He's such a good man. He really inspired me to do journalism. I feel so sad.
I was listening to one of his morning shows where a caller called in and insulted him for being very abusive on the government. But he was very normal and still said a good morning to the person and said, may God bless you. So this shows the humility of Komla Dumor.
He had his amazing sense of humor. Yeah, I like that about him. And then he was very precise in his delivery of his reports and stuff. I really wished one day I could get to work with him. Unfortunately, he's gone.
His approach, whenever he starts, giving any news, in fact, and precisely when there is anything in Africa, anything which involves African discovery or anything like that, and I become very happy.
When he was to interview a certain lady, and the lady didn't ask for money or anything, the lady said he should carry water to grant him the interview. And Komla Dumor, as high and mighty as he was, subdued and listened to the lady, and that was so inspiring, because most of our journalists, when they get to the top notch, they feel they are very big to do certain things. So for him to compel himself to do what the lady said in order to get the interview, that was so inspiring, and I really admire him for that.
He was quite a humble person who tries to bring out the best in him. He was a good broadcaster, and it's a sad day, so I'm trying to mourn his death.
One day I met him at Tiacho. Then we went to some bar, and then he fed everybody.
When Komla wears his suits and his famous shades and his socks, it's great because I love fashion, and Komla inspired that.
I have a friend who always talk about him, and what my friend usually says about him encouraged me. He became my role model, although I didn't know him until I heard his sudden departure.
He was talking about reporting in Africa. He showed one side of Botswana and that side of the rural side of it and the city aspect of it, indicating that if you are to tell African story, you just don't look at it from the mere fact that they are very poor or whatever, but you should look at it that they are developing too.
The way he was able to read his news, more especially about Africa, mentioning African community names as if he resides from those areas. So that made me much proud about Komla Dumor.
I miss him too much. I miss him too much. I don't want to talk about him, but should understand, I really like the guy. He's a gentleman. He's a nice man.